4-year-old Nathan Parker was playing with his toy truck near the edge of Miller's Pond when the ice beneath his feet gave way with a sharp crack, plunging him into water so cold it instantly triggered hypothermic shock and made swimming impossible for his small body. The pond's ice appeared solid from the surface, but recent temperature fluctuations had created dangerous thin spots that couldn't support even a child's weight. Nathan's terrified screams echoed across the park as he struggled to keep his head above water while ice chunks prevented him from climbing out, and the freezing temperature began shutting down his body's vital functions. But Zeus, a German shepherd with the Metropolitan Police Department's water rescue unit, heard Nathan's cries from 200 yards away and immediately recognized the distinctive sound of a drowning emergency. Without waiting for commands or equipment, Zeus broke free from his handler and charged toward the pond, using his powerful body to break through the ice barrier and reach Nathan before hypothermia could claim another victim in what should have been a routine winter afternoon at the park. Welcome to Saved by Tales. Before we dive into this heart-stopping story of professional training meeting split-second crisis and a police dog's courage creating hope when icy water threatened to claim an innocent life, join our community of animal hero enthusiasts who understand that sometimes the most important first responders are the ones whose training never stops, even during off-duty moments in neighborhood parks. Officer Danny Chen had been patrolling Miller's Park with his K9 partner Zeus as part of their routine community policing duties, checking on winter activities and ensuring that families could enjoy the snow-covered recreation areas safely. Zeus, a 5-year-old German shepherd, was cross-trained in multiple specialties, including water rescue, making him one of the department's most versatile working dogs. Zeus loves winter patrol, Danny often told fellow officers. He's got the energy and conditioning for cold weather work, and he seems to understand that winter activities come with extra risks that require enhanced vigilance. Miller's Pond was a popular winter destination for families with young children, offering ice skating opportunities when conditions were safe and sledding hills that provided entertainment throughout the snow season. But the pond also presented significant hazards when ice conditions were unstable or when supervision lapses allowed children to venture too close to dangerous areas. We've had several ice rescue calls at Miller's Pond over the years, explained Fire Captain Robert Martinez. The ice forms unevenly because of underground springs, creating spots that look solid but can't support weight safely. The Parker family had brought 4-year-old Nathan to the park for afternoon playtime, planning to enjoy sledding and snow activities while staying safely away from the pond area where warning signs indicated potential ice hazards. Nathan's adventure began innocently when his favorite toy truck rolled away from the sledding area and came to rest near the pond's edge, where recent snowfall had covered the warning signs and made the ice surface appear uniformly safe and solid. "My truck," Nathan called as he chased after his escaped toy, focused entirely on retrieval and unaware of the danger he was approaching at the water's edge. The ice surface looked solid and safe to a 4-year-old's perception, covered with snow that hid the visual cues that might have warned an adult about unstable conditions beneath. Nathan stepped confidently onto what appeared to be firm footing, intending to quickly grab his truck and return to the sledding area. But the ice beneath the snow cover was only an inch thick in the area where Nathan stepped, weakened by underwater springs that prevented solid freezing despite several days of below-freezing temperatures. The surface couldn't support even a child's weight. The ice break was sudden and complete. One moment Nathan was standing on apparently solid ground, and the next he was plunging through jagged ice fragments into water cold enough to kill within minutes if rescue didn't arrive immediately. Zeus detected Nathan's emergency before any human in the park understood what was happening. The German shepherd's acute hearing picked up the specific pitch and urgency of Nathan's screams, while his training in water rescue allowed him to immediately recognize the acoustic signature of a drowning emergency. "Zeus, what is it?" Danny asked as his K9 partner suddenly became alert and focused on the pond area, approximately 200 yards from their current position near the park's main entrance. Zeus's response was immediate and professional. The German shepherd broke into a dead run toward the sound of distress, his training overriding normal obedience protocols when life-threatening emergencies required immediate response without waiting for human assessment or commands. "Zeus, wait," Danny called as he began following his partner's sprint toward the pond, but the dog was already executing water rescue protocols that his training had programmed for exactly this type of emergency. Nathan's struggles in the icy water were becoming weaker as hypothermia began affecting his muscle control and coordination, making it impossible for him to maintain his position above the surface without immediate assistance from trained rescuers. Zeus's approach to Nathan's location required breaking through additional ice barriers that separated the solid shore area from the spot where Nathan had fallen through, demonstrating the specialized techniques that water rescue dogs learned for ice emergency situations. The German Shepherd used his powerful chest and shoulder muscles to break through ice sections that were too thick for Nathan to penetrate, but not solid enough to support safe human rescue approaches. Zeus's body weight and conditioning allowed him to create a path through the ice field toward Nathan's location. "Help! Help me!" Nathan called weakly as hypothermia began affecting his ability to speak clearly, but his voice guided Zeus's navigation through the broken ice field toward the exact location where rescue was needed most urgently. Zeus's ice-breaking technique was systematic and efficient, using controlled impacts that created forward progress without exhausting his energy reserves or compromising his ability to support Nathan once he reached the drowning child. The German Shepherd's water rescue training included protocols for victim support in cold water conditions, preparing him to provide flotation assistance while maintaining his own safety during extended exposure to hypothermic conditions. Zeus reached Nathan's location just as the 4-year-old was beginning to lose consciousness from cold water shock and hypothermia, providing immediate flotation support that prevented Nathan from slipping beneath the surface of the deadly cold water. "Doggy, doggy, help!" Nathan gasped as Zeus positioned himself to support the child's weight while maintaining both their heads above water in the ice-filled pond. The German Shepherd's water rescue training included techniques for supporting conscious victims during extended rescue operations, using his body as a living flotation device while conserving energy for the eventual extraction from the water. Zeus's thick coat provided some protection against the freezing water, but even a conditioned working dog faced serious hypothermia risks during prolonged exposure to water temperatures that were approaching the freezing point. The dog's positioning and support techniques kept Nathan's airway clear and his core body temperature as stable as possible, while human rescue teams mobilized with specialized equipment needed for safe ice rescue operations. Danny's arrival at the pond triggered immediate emergency protocols for ice rescue situations, with calls for fire department water rescue teams and medical personnel trained in hypothermia treatment for both human and canine victims. "We have a child and police dog in the water at Miller's Pond," Danny radioed to dispatch. "Both victims are conscious but showing signs of hypothermia. Zeus is supporting the child, but we need immediate ice rescue response." Other park visitors had also heard Nathan's initial screams and were gathering at the pond's edge, but ice rescue required specialized equipment and training to avoid creating additional victims who might fall through unstable ice during rescue attempts. "Everyone stay back from the ice edge," Danny called to concerned bystanders as he coordinated the emergency response. "The ice is unstable, and we can't risk additional people falling through." Zeus continued his victim support role while emergency teams mobilized, demonstrating the endurance and dedication that characterized professional working dogs who would maintain rescue operations regardless of personal risk or discomfort. Fire department ice rescue specialists arrived within 8 minutes of Danny's emergency call, deploying specialized equipment designed for safe victim extraction from unstable ice conditions without endangering rescue personnel. "We have 2 victims in the water, a child and a police dog," reported rescue coordinator Lisa Rodriguez as teams prepared ice rescue sleds and flotation devices. "The dog has been supporting the child for approximately 10 minutes. The extraction operation required careful coordination to remove both Nathan and Zeus from the water simultaneously, using techniques that prevented additional ice breaks while maintaining support for victims who were showing increasing signs of hypothermia." "Good boy," Zeus rescue swimmer Mark Johnson called as he approached the victims with specialized flotation equipment. "Keep holding him, we're going to get you both out together." Zeus maintained his protective positioning around Nathan throughout the extraction process, only releasing his support role when human rescuers had secured both victims with proper flotation and warming equipment. Both Nathan and Zeus were immediately transported to emergency medical facilities for hypothermia treatment and evaluation of their injuries from the ice rescue ordeal. Nathan was taken to Children's Hospital while Zeus received care at the emergency veterinary clinic. Both victims were rescued before critical hypothermia set in, reported emergency physician Dr. Sarah Kim. The dog's immediate response and flotation support prevented this from becoming a fatal drowning. Another few minutes and the outcome would have been very different. Nathan's condition was serious but stable, with core body temperature that had dropped to dangerous levels but not to the point where permanent organ damage occurred. His young age made him particularly vulnerable to cold water injuries, but Zeus's support had provided crucial protection during the critical first minutes. Zeus required treatment for mild hypothermia and exhaustion from his rescue efforts, but his conditioning and training had prepared him well for the physical demands of cold water rescue operations. Nathan's parents, Jennifer and Michael Parker, arrived at the hospital to find their son safe but recovering from a near-fatal accident that could have claimed his life without Zeus's intervention. "Zeus saved Nathan's life," Jennifer said through tears as she learned about the dramatic rescue. "Without that dog's quick thinking and courage, we would have lost our little boy to that pond." The family's gratitude extended beyond simple thanks to a deep appreciation for the professional training and dedication that Zeus had demonstrated during the life-threatening emergency. "That dog didn't hesitate to risk his own life to save our son," Michael observed. "His training and courage created a miracle when Nathan needed it most." Zeus's ice rescue became a textbook example of canine water rescue capabilities and was featured in training programs throughout the region as a demonstration of how professional working dogs could save lives when immediate human response wasn't possible. "Zeus executed a perfect cold water rescue under extremely challenging conditions," explained canine training specialist Dr. Amanda Foster. "His immediate response, ice navigation and victim support were flawless examples of professional working dog capabilities." The rescue was analyzed by water rescue instructors and incorporated into training curricula for both human and canine rescue teams, highlighting the importance of cross-species coordination during emergency operations. Nathan's near-drowning led to improved safety measures at Miller's Pond, including better warning signage, enhanced ice monitoring, and protocols for winter park supervision that would help prevent similar accidents. Zeus's rescue highlighted gaps in our winter safety protocols, acknowledged Parks Director Robert Chen. "We've implemented enhanced safety measures that will protect children while maintaining recreational opportunities." The incident also led to increased public education about ice safety and the recognition signs for hypothermia emergencies that required immediate professional response. Nathan's recovery included regular visits with Zeus, creating a special relationship between the boy and the dog who had saved his life during the most frightening experience of his young life. "Zeus is my hero," Nathan often told people when he was old enough to understand what had happened at the pond. "He jumped in the cold water to save me when I fell through the ice." The bond between rescuer and rescued continued to strengthen Nathan's confidence and provided emotional support during his recovery from the traumatic experience. Following his successful ice rescue, Zeus continued his police work with enhanced recognition of his water rescue capabilities and expanded training in cold weather emergency response techniques. "Zeus seems to understand that he accomplished something important during Nathan's rescue," observed Officer Chen. "His confidence and professional bearing have been enhanced by the successful outcome of such a challenging emergency." The German Shepherd's reputation as an exceptional rescue dog grew within the law enforcement community, with requests for his involvement in training programs and emergency response planning. 5 years after Zeus's ice-breaking rescue, Nathan had grown into a confident swimmer and water safety advocate who often shared his story with other children to help them understand the importance of ice safety and emergency preparedness. "Zeus taught me that heroes come to help when you need them most," Nathan explained during a school presentation about water safety. "He broke through the ice and held me up until the firefighters could get us out. That's what real heroes do." Their story continued to inspire emergency response training and demonstrate the remarkable capabilities of working dogs whose professional skills and courage could save lives when conventional rescue methods faced timing or access limitations that made human response insufficient. Zeus had proven that some rescue equipment came with 4 legs, professional training, and the kind of courage that would break through any barrier when lives hung in the balance and every second counted towards survival or tragedy. I still think about that winter afternoon when a 4-year-old boy chased his toy truck onto ice that looked solid but couldn't support a child's weight, sending him plunging into water cold enough to kill within minutes while his screams echoed across an empty park. If Zeus had ignored those distant cries, if he'd waited for commands or equipment, if he'd lacked the specialized training to break through ice barriers and support a drowning victim, Nathan Parker would have slipped beneath the surface while help was still minutes away from reaching the pond. Zeus's story teaches us something profound about the value of professional training that never takes a break, even during routine patrols in neighborhood parks where emergencies can develop faster than human response times allow. This dog didn't just perform a rescue, he executed complex ice navigation and victim support techniques that saved a life when split-second timing meant the difference between a successful save and a preventable tragedy.